Hello everyone, I am Sindhuja and in today's video I will be covering some of the fundamental concepts from the 201 full stack course. We will be focusing on 5 main concepts: variables, arrays, functions, objects and loops. These are essential for developers working with JavaScript. So let's jump in. Variable in JavaScript is like a label that points to a value. It could be a number, a string of text, or even a more complex data types like an array or an object. There are three ways to declare a variable in JavaScript: var, let, and const. Var was the original way, but it has some quirks. When it comes to scoping, meaning where in the code the variables is accessible. Let was introduced to solve some of those issues by restricting its scope to the block of code in which it was declared. And const, as the name suggests, it's used for constants, values that won't change after they are assigned. These different types of variables help you manage your data more effectively depending on what you need in your program. Arrays are like lists that you store multiple values in a single variable. Think of an array as a collection of related data points, like a list of countries or cities. The neat thing about arrays is that each item has a position called an index, and you can use this index to get or change the value of any item in the array. The first item is always at index 0, the second is at index 1, and so on. Arrays are especially useful when you need to work with a group of related values and you can manipulate them by adding, removing, or sorting the items inside them. Functions are a way to package up code that performs a specific task and then reuse the code whenever it's needed. For example, if you are repeatedly performing the same calculation, instead of writing the same code over and over again, you can write a function that performs that calculation and just call it whenever you need it. Functions can take inputs called parameters and they return outputs based on those inputs. This allows you to customize the behavior of the function based on the values you pass in. Functions are essential in programming because they make your code more modular and easy to maintain. Objects in JavaScript are like containers for related data. They allow you to group together information and functions that describe a real world entity. For example, if you want to represent a car, you could create an object with properties like the car's brand, model, and year. And you should even add methods to perform actions like starting the engine. What's powerful about objects is that they help you organize your code and make it easier to work with complex data structure. Instead of handling multiple individual variables, you can work with a single object that holds everything you needed. Loops are an essential part of programming because they let you repeat a block of code multiple times. Imagine you have a list of items like a list of provinces and you want to print out each one. Instead of writing out code for each item individually, you can use a loop to handle that task for you. The for loop, for example, runs a block of code a set number of times, while the while loop continues running as long as a certain condition is true. Loops save the time, reduces errors, and make your code more efficient, especially when dealing with a large set of data. That brings us to the end of today's video. We have discussed variables, arrays, functions, objects, and loops. 5 key concepts you will need as you start building applications with JavaScript. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will be happy to answer. Until next time.